Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with David. Today I am in chilly Wisconsin visiting my daughter Rachel. So I thought it was only fitting that since I was there I would make chili. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get our oil going, and I love cooking with gas instead of my electric stove. So I'm really enjoying this because I've got gas. I've got gas, man. I'm going to cook with it. So first of all, about a cup of chopped onions. You want to throw that in there, and you want to get that cooking. So we got that going. And then this recipe calls for 3 cloves of garlic. Well, I don't have 3 cloves of garlic, but I do have some garlic powder. So the rule of thumb is it's 1/8 of garlic powder for every 1 clove. So I'm going to use 3 1/8. I'm going to stick that in there. 2 and 3. So I'll put it on pause here, and then when the onions become translucent, then I'll come back and we'll rock and roll from there. Okay, so we've got our onions cooking pretty good here, and with our garlic powder, so that's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to put 2 pounds of ground beef, and I like to use good lean ground beef, and usually what I buy is ground chuck or up. You know, it goes ground chuck, ground round, ground sirloin. This happens to be ground round that I bought at the local market over here when I came into town. They didn't have any ground chuck. Usually that's what I get. So we're just going to flop this in here like this. I like using these ground beef chucks because these things really freeze up well. I usually buy 2 at a time when I go to the grocery store, whether I need it or not, and then I just throw it in the freezer. And that works out real well. So I'll just break this up and get this frying. I better turn that down just a tad. Okay. And I'm going to use a little salt. And just a little bit of black pepper. Just shake it on there. Okay, so I'm going to brown this all up, and then when this is brown, I'll come back and show you what to do the rest of the way. Okay, so that's just about done. I put it on the back burner. I'm going to use my club aluminum. Funny thing about this, I know I've talked about my club aluminum before and how much I love it, that my aunt gave it to me when I didn't have anything. I'm talking really fast. So I bought Rachel a set. When it came, it was brand new. So everybody said, well, why don't you take the brand new one and give the old one to Rachel? I said, because my Aunt Gertie made me promise that I would never get rid of that set. So I still have it to this day. Alright, so what we want to do is use a can of beef broth, stock, whatever you want. We're going to put that in there, and then we're going to do a cup of water to match it. Okay? And then I've got some red kidney beans that I drained in the sink. We're going to put that in there. Okay? Now I've got 2 cans of diced tomatoes. We're going to just dump it in there. Don't drain it or anything. There's all kinds of tomatoes out there. There's some that are fire roasted that would be really good in this. So now I'm going to take a small thing of tomato paste. And how I do the tomato paste, you probably do it the same way too, so this is probably nothing new. But I open both ends, and then I just push it through. like so. Make sure you take the thing off. Alright, so we got that in there. Now I need a paper towel. Okay, our ground beef looks good. So I'm going to get a slotted spoon, and I'm going to transfer that in here. First I need to stir this up a little bit. Trying to find stuff in somebody else's house is a challenge, especially when they're not here. So we'll give that just a bit of a toss. Now I'm going to find a slotted spoon somewhere, and I'm going to transfer all this into here. Try to not get too much grease involved there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to do what I call the onesies. We're going to do 1 tablespoon of ground cumin. Sort of one. Let's see. I don't think Rachel's used her cumin very much. See if I can break this apart just a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. So we got 1 tablespoon of cumin. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. And that's such a fun name to say. I love saying that. Paprika. It's just a happy word. You can't help but to smile when you say paprika. Alright, so there's the paprika. And we're going to do some chili powder. And I had to buy some chili powder up here. This is the kind that I found. So I'm sure it's going to be good. So we're going to put 3 tablespoons of chili powder. Maybe we will. There we go. Okay, good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Alright, so we're just going to mix this up a little bit. It's looking good. Looks like chili, doesn't it, guys? Alright. Okay, so we're just going to let this simmer for a while. And then when it's warm, if you want to add cheese to it, you can add some cheese to it. It's also good with, you can make chili dog. If you want to make hot dogs, you can roll them up in the crescent rolls, bake the hot dogs, and then pour the chili over it, or just have a hot dog on bun. That would work too. So there you go. It's pretty simple. Doesn't take a lot really. The hardest part is just browning the ground beef. Of course, I didn't have a large pan. I had the largest pan that Rachel has. It's what I used, and so not too much of a mess. But there you go. And I do like her club aluminum. So this has been another episode of Cooking with David. I hope you've enjoyed it. From not so sunny Wisconsin, where it was like 46 degrees this morning, David froze his little hiney off. But I only had 1 pair of pants, long pair of pants, and the rest that I packed were shorts. Never going to do that again, unless it's in the dead of winter, or the dead of summer, I mean, because it's always the dead of winter up here. So anyway, that was Cooking with David. Hope you'd enjoyed it. Be careful, it's a jungle out there, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.